Good morning, card communities. RJ. Time for another video, so let's get to it. Going to show off a random Mike Schmidt item like always and a random baseball item like always, but I'm going to take a moment and talk to you, tell you a little backstory of my collecting. I've told these stories many times before if you've heard them. If you haven't heard them, here's my collecting history. So I was a kid collecting packs between 1978 and 1984. I was buying my Topps packs, opening them and whatnot, and enjoying card collecting. I kept my cards in a box, rubber banded under my bed. So that's how I stored the cards. They were loose. They were not in binders or pages. I'm not even sure anybody collected binder and pages cards back then. But I got out in '84, getting a little older. I had more things to do than collect cards and more important things to do with my money. Along about 1987, I was working at Burger King as a teen, and a guy bought in some packs of baseball cards that he had purchased and kind of piqued my interest again looking at his stuff. Thought about getting back into it, realized there were card stores, looked around, was interested in what I saw, but didn't do anything. 1989, I saw there was an advertisement for a baseball card show in Allentown, Pennsylvania, near where I lived. Not only that, it was a card show, but autograph guests were there, and those autograph guests were Jim Palmer, Ted Williams, and Mickey Mantle. So it was quite the card show, and for $35 a piece, I could get Mickey Mantle and Ted Williams autograph, which I did. In fact, a great story I love to tell. The Mickey Mantle one, I was late to the party, so I got like one of the last autographed. They sell them in numbers, so you get them. If you bought your tickets early or you got an early number, you could get it out of the line quick. If you bought your ticket last, you'd be end of the line. So I had one of the final numbers, and I was in line waiting for my turn, and I guess it'd been a long time Mickey had been signing, and he wanted to leave. He wanted out. So there was like a guy who was running the show was kind of walking up and asking people, hey, I know you bought a ticket, but here's a ball. You can have this one if you step out of line. And everybody was kind of hemming and hawing. We were like 50 people away from getting to Mickey finally. Nobody wanted to leave. They all wanted to get Mickey to sign their ball or whatever. Until one guy pipes up and said, well, I'll get out of line if you give me two of those balls. And you could see the guy pause, but I guess Mickey was really telling him, I want to leave. I want to get the heck out of here. So the guy said, the promoter said, sure, you can have two for your one ticket if you get out of line. And the guy did it, and I think a couple other people did it too, but I didn't. I was a young collector. This was my first autograph show, believe it, my very first autographs for Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, and Jim Palmer. So I stayed, and I keep thinking of back that day for a while. What would you have done? What would you do now if you say you had two Mickey Mantle autographs and it only cost you $35 a piece? That'd be a sweet deal. We'd all take it every day of the week. But I said, no, I want to get Mickey to sign my ball. Fast forward, so I built my autograph collection, collecting lots of cool stuff, and then marriage comes, you stop collecting, blah 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 blah, and then I got a divorce and I sold everything. So I sold everything to the card shop, which was near to where I lived, where I still live, which is still my LCS. I sold all my balls. I sold my entire Mike Schmidt collection at the time, everything, and still to this day I'll walk by and go through the bin. The guy I sold everything to, he still has 2 or 3 binders full of Mike Schmidt cards, some of which were probably mine to begin with. So I tell this story to show off my Mike Schmidt collection of the day, all right? I'm going to switch the camera around and show off some stuff. So how do I turn the thing around? I don't know if I can do it here. I'm going to have to, give me a second. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll keep going, okay? So the card I got today is probably one that I had given to him when I sold him, because I picked this up this morning out of the binder. It's a 1987 Ralston Purina company. I can't remember what product this was sold. This was inside like oatmeal or cereal or something. I can't remember exactly what. Collection of 15 cards, MSA, not Topps, not MLB Players Association, not MLB, so airbrushed logos. These were in serials of something, if I remember correctly. So uh, I, for whatever reason, had not had this in my current collection for a while, and I looked, and there it was. I was flipping through the binders. The reason I was going through the binders is because I was looking for some OPC stickers. I'm still missing some of the OPC stickers from the 80s. So I was looking for that, but found this card that I still did not have in my binders, and I swear this is probably the one I sold to him in my collection all those years ago. So that's just an interesting story. I wanted to take a moment to share with you. That was my random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Random baseball item of the day. I just love looking at this picture. It's just one of those odd pictures that just brings a grin to your face when you see it. 1992 Topps gold winner version of Tommy Lasorda, manager for the Dodgers. And here he is. I don't know how old he would have been at this time. I mean, Tommy's rookie season was like 55 or 54 or somewhere around that time. So this would have been 92 92. So it was 40 years later. Tommy was definitely in his mid 60s. And here he is jogging with all the players. I could identify a couple of them. So there's Earl Hershiser. I believe that's Tom Candiotti at the time. And here's Gary Carter with his one of his few his 1 year stint with the Dodgers. There's Tommy leading the jog around the bases. I just love that picture because Tommy he loved baseball, loved life, and enjoyed hanging with the players. And here he is sprinting with them. They all got a little bit of a grin. Just, I guess, the very fact that their 60-year-old manager would be out there jogging with them. And this is the gold winner version of that card from Tommy Lasorda. So, very cool thing. I just figured I'd show that off to you today. So, all right, today's trivia question. Awesome prize for you today. This is this year's 2023 Topps, the Silver Pack Promotion Mojo Refractor Style 35th Anniversary insert of Shohei Ohtani. It's not a numbered one, it's the base. Well, if you call these things base. But this would have been the, the one you ripped in the silver packs of your hobby boxes. So that is your prize. Here's the question. Major League Baseball, for many years, almost since its beginning, there have been instances where there have been two teams in the same city, usually the bigger markets. To this day, there's still a couple of those. Chicago has two teams in the same city. Certainly New York has two teams in the same city. And Los Angeles, if you want to say, or if you want to suggest that Anaheim is the same as Los Angeles. So, and then you could make the case for Oakland and San Francisco since they're just across the bay from each other. But yeah, Major League Baseball has had many years where there's been two teams in one city. And every once in a while, you'll get a situation where the World Series comes along and they're the same two teams end up in the World Series. I believe, now this is not the question, but I believe the last time that happened was 2000 when you had the Mets and the Yankees in that World Series. My question to you is, what was the first year it happened? What was the first year of World Series play in which the two teams were both from the same city? Now, I say World Series, I want to be specific, the modern era. So from 1903 on, what was the first year in which both teams were from the same city? All right. Answer me that question. Send me an email. I will include my email in the description below, along with the repeat of the question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer, and we will pick a winner on Sunday. All right. So good luck to that for everybody. All right, today, when I want to show off, I have shown off this set before, but I was at my LCS this morning and found a couple awesome things. So let me show you this, the 1985 Philadelphia Phillies. It's what's called the police set, but also the Cigna set. So this is the Mike Schmidt card, and on the back, Cigna was a sponsor of the set, and it was courtesy of your local police department, who was also somehow a sponsor of the set. So Oftentimes, it's a 16 card set of some of the better known Phillies. Mike Schmidt one is number 4, and it was issued in 1985. Now, the thing about this is I knew there were some other years when Cigna and the Police put out a set, but I've never, ever, ever seen it. I mean, I know it exists. It's not like it's hidden. I just never been able to find anybody selling the thing. This image with Schmidt on it, this one right here, I see all the time. You'll see the 85 set for sale every day of the week on eBay. You'll see the set. You'll see the Schmidt card prominently displayed as something cool. Well, today I went to my LCS, as I mentioned. One of the things I did is rummage through some of the bins he has. He's got multiple, dozens and dozens of, 4,000, 5,000 count boxes filled with cards, dime, 3 for $1, penny cards, what have you. He's got them all. And as I was flipping through the bins, I saw this card. Yeah, you'll notice it's the same style, okay? But I realized right away, whoa, because I only ever see this picture. When I saw this image, I say, wait a second, that's different. Why is that? And it was the full set. So I have acquired, and very happy to have this, the full set of 1986 Cigna police cards. Very thrilled to have that. My card number 10, I'm going to put that in the back for now. I think I might have flipped to it, did I? Yeah, I did. I flipped to it, so let me go to the beginning card. So here you go. Juan Samuel is the beginning card. So these are the players, 16 of them, that made the 1986 Phillies Cigna set. And again, I've never seen this before. I know it's not rare. It just isn't rare, but for whatever reason, I never see it up for sale anywhere. Probably could have searched for it if I searched the Bay. I never bothered to search for it, but to find it in the $5 bin at the LCS today was fantastic for me. So here we go. Juan Samuel, pitcher Don Carmen. Von Hayes, a longtime Philly in the 80s. Pitcher Kent Tekulve winded down his career with the Phillies. I think Tekulve moved on to the Reds for the very last year or two of his career, but mid to late 80s he was on the Phillies. Greg Gross, longtime Philly, just like Von Hayes, is around all through the 80s. Shane Rawley, pitcher. Darren Dalton, legend of the 1993 team, great guy. Kevin Gross, no relation to Greg as far as I know, but Kevin Gross went on to have some good quality years with the Dodgers. Steve Jeltz, the heir apparent to Schmidt when Schmidt retired, but certainly Steve didn't live up to that expectation. There's your Schmidt card. Steve Bedrosian, who won the Cy Young in '87. Gary Uritas, very short-lived Philly. We moved on to other teams. Same with Charles Hudson. John Russell, forgotten member of the Phillies organization, catcher. He was kind of him and Darren Dalton kind of split duty. Fred Tolliver, also a short-lived Philly. Glenn Wilson, mediocre career for a number of teams. And then back to Samuel. So rummaging through the bins, which I do occasionally, I came across the 1986 Cigna Phillies police set. Absolutely, I guess this is the fire department this time. Maybe that's why they did the second one. I was absolutely thrilled to find this, and I wanted to show it off to you. And I wanted also, like I said, to just remind everybody about some good stories about collecting where you can sell off your entire collection once in a while, but come back later and pick up where you left off with a great card. So hope you all enjoyed that little trip down memory lane. Appreciate you watching. Please consider like, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. Don't forget the trivia question. You can win that great Shohei Ohtani card up there. So take a look. Research it. Throw an answer out in the email. And come back again on Friday. We'll have more great trivia and prizes to give away, all right? Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.